Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm coming at you with a quick video. Today I want to do a boil test using this Coleman butane stove. So behind me you can see that I have 20 ounces of water. I have a small pot, stainless steel pot. I have a pot support so I can carry it around when it gets hot. And last but not least, I have my butane fuel that I'm going to use. So let me get this stove fired up and we'll give it a quick boil test. I'm going to go ahead and insert the fuel into the stove. Take this little cap off. If you start with the rear end of the can pointed up slightly, it'll kind of insert in very nicely. Make sure everything's together. There we go. From here, making sure that our valve is off, we're going to engage the fuel canister. Close the lid. Now when we turn the switch, or should I say when we turn this valve in the counterclockwise direction towards the high setting, you can see that there's a piezo igniter. So let's go ahead and light the stove. We have the stove lit. Now we've got it on high. Back behind me, one thing that I forgot to mention is I'm going to be using my phone today to count up on our time. So let's get this water poured into this pot. Again, this is 20 ounces of water. We already have the stove burning. I don't need the pot support yet. So we'll just set that baby on. We'll go ahead and start our time. We'll see how long it takes to boil. I'm going to let this video run in real time. I don't want to make any cuts or edits or anything like that. It's not that I'm trying to bore you. It's simply I'm trying to let you see in real time what this stove does. It's a very quiet stove, you can see. You can hear everything starting to heat up. You can see heat waves. I'm looking down in the pan right now and I can see small heat waves in there. Nothing too significant yet at this point. I'll give you a quick view of that. See down in there? See those little heat waves? Kind of neat. The stove has a very quiet flame. I picked this stove up at my local Walmart for under $20. The fuel canisters, if you buy the Coleman type butane fuel canisters, they're $2.97 right now. And as I'm filming this video, it's approximately, we're approaching Christmas time. This is a good stove to have, in the back of your vehicle or something like that, especially if you're going to be traveling in the wintertime. You never know when you're going to need to purify some water. One thing that I want to mention while we're sitting here waiting is that we want to make sure that anytime we use a stove like this that we have proper ventilation. We want to make sure that there's plenty of ventilation going on, because if you don't have adequate ventilation using a stove like this, or any kind of burning any kind of fuels for that matter, there's a possibility of getting carbon monoxide poisoning. We want to avoid that, obviously. So we're just a little over 2.5 minutes in. Starting to get a very light boil at this point. Nothing too significant yet. This stove, if I remember correctly, it's It's less than 10,000 BTUs. I'm trying to think. It's printed on the back. I don't really want to lean over too far. I'm wanting to say it's 7,000 BTUs or 6,750 or something like that. It's a good stove. Let's take another look. See, we're starting to get a little closer. We're about 320 in right now. So I'm just waiting, nice and patiently. It's a very inexpensive stove. I like it because it's really quiet. You know, we are at a boil right now. It's just a very light one. So we're just about 4 minutes in, almost. See the timer? Let's see, what is it? We just turned over 4 minutes, and that's what we're dealing with right now. Nice little boil, nothing too crazy. So if we were out capturing water in a survival situation or something like that, we would want to boil this water to kill any kind of giardia. Maybe it had some cryptosporidium. See, I'm looking at a good rolling boil right now. Let's look at that time. 4.5 minutes, 4:35. So about 4.5 minutes, and we got this nice rolling boil. It's a nice little stove. It's good to have one of these around. You know, they work really well. Good stoves. Very nice to have. Excellent to have in case there was a bug out situation and you had to get, you know, you had to take your vehicle out somewhere or something like that. So now obviously we've reached more than a rolling boil. I'm going to go ahead and take this pot and set it over here. Don't need my cloth no more. Again, it was about 4.5 minutes that it took me to boil that water. We'll go ahead and turn the stove off at this point. We want to disengage the fuel canister, so we're going to kind of raise this lever up, tip the rear end out, and it'll come right out. There's our fuel that we were using. You know, I mentioned earlier that the Coleman fuels, these were about $2.97 at Walmart. These butane fuels that I've got, this gas one, I bought these, I believe, on eBay for around $1.50 a piece. And I just recently found this other type called Sun. This is a butane canister. I found these on eBay as well, and I think I was getting these for about $1.25. So there's a few options. They all burn about the same from my experience. I haven't really noticed much of a difference between them. But that's a good little stove to have. So anyway, I want to say thank you everybody for watching my boil test video today on this stove. The stove works great. It has good flame control. It's not real high powered, but it is enough to get the job done if you're patient. And if you're in a survival situation, you've got all the time in the world anyway, so there's not really a need to boil water in 3 minutes. So 4.5 minutes, 20 ounces, pretty good boil time. So again, you know, I might have said it earlier, I want to say thank you again for watching. Please feel free to comment on this video, like this video, give me a thumbs up if you would please. And if you like the type of content that you see overall on my channel, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. And until next time, have a beautiful day. Get out there and get you one of these stoves. They're really nice. And make sure, one more time, good ventilation. Later. Bye.